Oh man. Oh man. Chris Jericho, you got some explaining to do, boy. You got some explaining to do. Before I get into this video, I am trying to hit 4,200 subs before the end of the week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for your boy. I definitely appreciate it. We going into the new year. Let's hit that subscribe button. Join the family. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Now, Chris Jericho, man. Hold up. I'm about to take a little sip from my little drink before I go in on Chris Jericho. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is nuts. This is I think the world is crumbling on AEW, but more so definitely Chris Jericho. And a lot of these problems, bruh, I'm starting to realize would have just been fixed if a lot of these guys would just be quiet. If a lot of these guys would just do their job, shut up, mind their business, collect their checks from Tony Khan, and they would be okay. But they seem to not be able to do that. If you don't remember, all of this started on Christmas when Chris Jericho. Well, before I bury the lead too much, Chris Jericho has some allegations. Some how do I say some Harvey Deinstein allegations. Hopefully YouTube doesn't have a problem with me saying it like that. If you don't know, some Cosby Bill allegations. Not necessarily like those, but in a sense of using his influence to necessarily just like using his influence on women. And if I gotta explain it further than that, I'm sorry, but you know Google, do your Googles. So Chris Jericho, he's in a lot of hot water just with the IWC in general. And again, a lot of this started with on Christmas, where Stephen P. New, or not Stephen P. New, his own website revealed that there's only one person involved in All In or Brawl Out, who doesn't have an NDA, and it's Ace Steel's wife. But Chris Jericho, here goes Chris Jericho at 4 in the morning on Christmas, having to stick his neck in there and saying, "Oh, I didn't sign an NDA." And then Stephen P. New, CM Punk's lawyer, said, and Jim Cornette's lawyer, LOL, said that I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do have a NDA, bro. Like, it's in everybody's contract. I don't know what you're talking about. Then Chris Jericho went off, called him a bully, called him a mark, called him, said that his actions were disgusting. And I just think he should have just been quiet. He should have just been quiet. All Brawl Out has nothing to do with Chris Jericho. It has absolutely nothing to do with Chris Jericho. The only thing Brawl Out and Chris Jericho have in common is that the fact that it happened in a company that he works for. That's the only thing Brawl Out and Chris Jericho have in common, is that it's in AEW. That's about it. And they just so happen to be in Chicago that night. And I think it's just ridiculous. Obviously my thoughts are with the victim in this situation. I believe her name is Kylie Ray. And yeah, she is a victim in this situation. And if there's an NDA involved, that tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know, as in guilt and whatever. And I think we got to start looking at Tony Khan different. We got to start looking at we definitely got to start looking at Chris Jericho different. If you, like I said in my last video, he still, like, I still don't root against him. Nope. We celebrating the downfall of this. Nope. We lighting the Chris Jericho pack. You know what I'm saying? And we might be you know what I'm saying, smoking that Tony Khan pack. You know what I'm saying? We might be you know what I'm saying, throwing something on the grill for the downfall of Tony Khan. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think I'm about to have a celebration at the crib. You know, I might throw some fireworks, throw some, do y'all like hamburgers? Some hot dogs, you know what I'm saying? You know, me personally, I like to, toast the buns a little bit. You know, I might put some bacon on there. It's a special occasion, you know what I'm saying? We got to go all out. Some pickles, some cheese, all that. We going crazy, bro. We celebrating the downfall of these terrible people who just think that they could get away with anything. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you don't got to bring too much. Maybe bring some plates, some chips or something. You know what I'm saying? We but I got the cigars, you know, whether you like bud, whether you like, you know what I'm saying, marijuana, the devil's lettuce, whatever you like. You know, if you like the cigars, like the Joe Burrow cigars, I got them too. You know what I'm saying? We going crazy, bro. We celebrating the downfall of Chris Jericho. He had it coming, bro. He had it coming. Talking to CM Punk like that, calling CM Punk a cancer of all things. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. And CM Punk warned us about Chris Jericho, and we a lot of us didn't listen. And I think a lot of us knew that Chris Jericho was what he was, but to what extent? That's crazy, bro. And again, we gotta look at Tony Khan different because it's coming. A lot of speculation has been that he hid this because there was like a TV deal, and at the time, Chris Jericho was the biggest star, so they could lose a TV deal potentially without him. I think, yeah, this happened around 2019, I believe. So it's sad, it's unfortunate, and a lot of people was going at the reporter who kind of like spilled the beans about it, I guess, for knowing this the entire time and not saying anything. I don't necessarily have smoke for him. Who knows why he kept it on, close to the hip for so long? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows that he even knew for 5 years? Who knows? And if they got her signing NDAs, who knows what? Because he can reveal if he signed an NDA. And it's Nick Hausman, by the way, guy from Chicago. I think he kind of started not Brawl Out. He kind of I think that's who CM Punk was asking the question to, like if he still, did what improv comedy with Cole Cabana. I think it kind of started the whole press conference. So that's Nick Hausman, and he's getting a lot of heat, and I don't think he deserves the heat. I think we know who should get the heat, and she seems like she's just appreciative that the story finally came out. She just left the heart emoji, kind of confirming that the story happened. And I'm currently watching AEW World's End, the final pay-per-view of the year, and it hasn't been announced yet that Chris Jericho is off the pay-per-view. I'm very interested to see what the crowd's reaction will be to Chris Jericho, but that's to be seen. And they're not above making last-minute changes to the card. They just changed Keith Lee off the card, so they could definitely do it to Chris Jericho. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Again, man, I'm throwing something on the grill. You know what I'm saying? Subscribers only, though. Subscribers only. So if you don't hit that subscribe button, bro, you getting kicked out of the barbecue, bro. But again, we throwing something on the grill. You know what I'm saying? Some bacon, some tomatoes, some, you know what I'm saying? We doing the whole fixings for this food that we making. You know what I'm saying? We getting the cigars and all that. We doing the whole thing. But you got to hit that subscribe button to participate. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you a cigar. I can't give you a blunt. You know what I'm saying? I can't even take a shot of Hennessy with you if you don't hit that subscribe button. But if you either way, hold these people accountable. Have a beautiful night. If you are going through something such as Kylie Ray, and there are people taking advantage of their power, it's okay to speak up. It's okay to speak up, and I understand that it's a lot of intimidation, male or female. It's a lot of intimidation, and there are people out there who are for you, and I understand. I'm making a joke out of this, and I apologize if it offends anyone, but genuinely, there are people out there who care, and just genuinely just keep your head up. Do what you feel is right for you, but no one deserves to be taken advantage of. No one ever does. And to all the victims of stuff like this out there, you are in my thoughts. It's something I think about daily. It's something that worries me about, my future, the next generation of women and girls. And again, it happens to men too. So, just the next generation in general. So take care of you. You got yourselves out there, guys. There are a lot of scary people out in this world, but just all we can do is try our best to avoid the crazy. So have a beautiful night. Sub the act. Hopefully you can enjoy this pay-per-view as an escape from this crazy world. But again, I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Oh, and we do live streams every now and then, so tune in to the live streams. Keep my notifications on. Peace. Sub the act, by the way. Peace.